Hello everyone, Peter here, Piotr Fissner. Guys, so we got a few more jobs. We didn't finish the controller. I was feeling really bad yesterday, so I'm trying to put video the very next day in the morning or in the evening the same day if possible, yes? And I'm trying to do at least one video a day if possible, but I can't always do them, yes? So this week my family received a portion of some flu, cold or whatever. So yeah, so it was a bit of a pickle. So what we're gonna do is we will finish this Microsoft wireless controller, which I'll tell you about more. Yes, if you've seen the part 1, then that's good. We've got a laptop here. It's an NV model. The laptop is from one of my neighbors. He's doing phone repairs mainly. Yes, he don't have a YouTube channel, so I can't show you that. It's a good guy. I don't want to say his name because I don't know if he wants, but anyway, so that will be one of the next 2 episodes, which I will try to do within one day. So from today, starting in 24 hours. Let's fingers crossed I'll have enough time. He managed to take it apart on his own. He managed to make it up, so I've seen it working, so I don't want to switch it on now to not waste the time. But he couldn't install it, so I said that, you know, like with my experience for so many years with them, I would open this part, you know, and I would try to attach them. So you will see, because I never done this particular model, and it's from model to model, so it's quite difficult to, let's say, without seeing this. Now that's a Xbox One 1540 fat model, the original one, yes? So the problem with this one is that it was working. Unfortunately, customer had an issue, bought from me new power supply. I was selling white and green box before, and so now I'm selling these ones from AliExpress, yes, and so, you know, if you buy in bulk they are cheaper, but I'm selling them for 20 quid. And what happened was that he said that the Xbox power supply have just literally went down with power, and it's just the orange light. I said to bring me the controller, and customer unfortunately didn't, you know, connect the dots or whatever. I don't know, I can't tell you. Yes, I'm just saying from the conversation that he decided to bring in the Xbox. So he put it to the bag. He went with a bag, and the bottom tear apart. Unfortunately for the customer, you know, the hard drive, as we know, when it will fall, it's not a SSD, so it's just a hard drive inside. So fingers crossed, you know, the worst case will be only the hard drive. Customer has top enclosure, and he will be watching me doing this repair on another video, and then he will be able to fingers crossed again, yes, do it by himself, because I don't want to, you know, like charge customer more than I have to. Now, in regard to doing yourself, you sometimes need to watch several times video, because, you know, things might not be obvious in the first place, yes, or watch one and then when you're doing it, watch and do, yes, watch and do in batches. Got a water on my desk, I shouldn't. But anyways, okay, so I need a bit of a water to just sip my, to water my lips, because it's really dry. We don't like water, yeah guys? We don't like a liquid damage. Okay, so we've got micro soldering today. We've got assembly of this Xbox One wireless controller. Let's do it. First thing first, okay? First thing first. I don't have a disassembled second controller. I could use this button back. I need to look at it closely if I can reuse it, because the button looks okay, yes? Oh, it's clickable, don't have any lags or anything, so we can reuse this button. Let's put it here, two parts. But the first thing which we need to fix is our lovely analog, yes, as we remember. So this one is just knackered. So yeah, so now there are two ways of doing it. If you're not experienced, 12 pins without hot air station, it's challenging. So what you can do literally is there are potentiometers on the side, okay? Those two, okay? You see this green on this side, nothing on this side, and green on this side, and nothing on this side, yes? So, well, I mean, it's a plastic, but it's okay, yes? So what you can do literally, you can use, oh, I shouldn't drop anything though. Ah, my pointy thing is here. Put this pry tool away. You can use something sharp like this, yes? And we can just literally take away this potentiometer. Now, if you're comfortable with desoldering all the pins on your hot air gun, then you don't have to worry about it, yes? But if you're not comfortable with desoldering so many pins, then it's better to do like this. Look, just separate, and you can now remove those two potentiometers first, yes? And then you can use the hot air or your soldering station, but please don't use please don't heat to the maximum without flux, yes? So flux here, or if you don't have maybe the liquid form, you know, if you don't have that one, at least a paste, you know, at least a paste, at least that's still better than nothing, to be true, because then you help this solder to break through quicker. So yeah, so we will need flux. That's a gel form, yes, that's a gel form. So that's what it is. You can buy it on eBay, you can buy it on AliExpress, cheaper. That's Kingbo flux type RMA Romeo Mike Alpha-218, yes. I'm using the same flux what the coder is using, so that's me. Excuse my throat again. Yeah, and then what you can do is you can desolder, yes, the solder wires. If you don't feel comfortable of those motors, you can desolder them. Just keep in mind, you know, which way is red, which way is black. You can take a photo as I did in the previous video. Then when you will desolder them, it's easier to maneuver, yes? If you don't feel comfortable or you don't have anything to hold to, then it will be easier for you. I don't know if I have, but I'd show you. It's in the other room. I can't show you at the moment because my wife is sleeping. I've got what's called a third arm. So what it is you've got extra arm which you can use, you know, to hold it at certain way, yes, but I won't go for that, so that's okay, yes. But what I mean is I'm doing it always without any tools, to be true. I'm using my mat only to not burn the table. That's it. So the next advice I can give you, because I never done it on a camera, to be true, you know, I was always doing it on my own, with my own eyes, for only myself, yes. So what I can tell you is don't try to pull it, okay? Don't try to pull it. If you don't have hot air station and you need to use your iron, yes, or better iron station, yes, then don't try, you know, like heat it to over 300 degrees. Try to go over 200 degrees, you know, if you can set it up this way. and just try to, you know, try to not pull it, because if you pull it, those pads here are weak, and this is a small surface. Or if you want the solder look, what will happen? You'll have to solder it anyway, yes, later, because it's just, you know, weak. So that's why it's better to desolder it right now, because we've got so much amount of work. Normally I'm not touching them and they are not damaging, okay? So I've got my desoldering station there with hot air. I've got my scope here. So let's move everything aside. Okay. And let's... Okay, lab power supply can go away. See, I need to redesign this room because it was always used for a hobby, so not all the tools were here. Now came so many tools. I'm not sure if my son is coming. If so, if that's the case, then we will have to have a pause. Okay, no space here to hide it. I can put it somewhere here. That's fine. It's no big deal. Okay, so anyways, we got more space now. Now I'll pull the soldering station. I had to make manual mount, I mean additional mount, because when I was buying it I didn't know what I'm buying. It was years and years back. I can't tell you, might be 8 years ago. So what I have is a stand for hot air, yes, because then I couldn't hold to. I don't know if you can see it clearly. Yes, now. Without it, you know, without it, it was a pain. Literally, you had to keep it. And even on this pillow, I can show you that, because my children are destroying stuff. So then, when it's a small hole, it's becoming bigger. Look, if you're not watching out what you're doing, that's what you will end up with. Yes. So, yeah, just be careful, please, because it's your life after all, and why you risk it? Yes, why risk it? So okay, so if you never worked with hot air station, that will be a matter of practice. You need to know your station, because not all the stations have the same temp settings and everything. Yes, the maximum temp, if you know that your station reach about 500 degrees, it's no point for you to always use those 500 degrees. There are special cases. So there are videos online how to set it up, and with those small devices, if you would use full air and full temp, I'm going on a bet that this would be a way, you know, those pads would be just flying to the roof. Yes, you wouldn't see them, you wouldn't fix it like at all. So the only way to do it is you can go from circular moves, so that you cover more surface, yes, more surface, than not only one point, but covering more surface, so it's all absorbing heat. And then what's happening is that you try well, add flux first, yes, but you add flux, use small air, yes, small airflow, and then see if that's the temp you want, because sometimes the temp will be just a bit too small, yes. So try to aim for this one. You know, if you will even do 300 degrees on this, it should be enough, you know, it should be enough. But just try it with different tools, will be different results. So that's what it is, yes. And then, you know, then you don't pull it hard, because you will just literally take out those pins, yes. So if you're not sure, and you can hold with, let's say, one hand, if you can hold this, yes, and can go like this on this, then you can use something sharp and just poke to see if you should see, because the solder is changing color to be more shiny, yes. But when you start it, it's you know, it's better to poke it Then when you solder bigger elements on the motherboard, let's say, it will be easier for you to poke it and then get your tweezers, yes, and then grab it. Because if you will be trying to move it with your tweezers when it's not melted, then what's happening is you will just pull it off and those spots will go with the element pretty much, yes, most likely. If you will be super lucky, maybe not, but that's what's happening, yes. So okay, so as you see, we need to desolder the small wire. We can use we can desolder on the other side as well. We don't need a hot air for that, yes, it's really no need. The only thing what you need is like, oh, that's a big tip. I could use micros here. So you see, you've got different tips. I like the banded one. So that's a banded. No, that's a straight one. Straight one. That's a bit banded. Oh, that's weird. And I might have in the second solder, but that's solder iron only. So that might be the case that I've put it over there. That's why I got this type, because you've got better type, the newer ones, which is heating only this part. So it's better, yes. But with this one, it is what it is. But let me check. Okay, this I will be able to desolder. Okay, this as well. So okay, so let's do with this even. I'll be okay for this purpose. Will be okay. Let me tidy up a bit. Okay, good. So now let's put away those thingies. Let's try for the cable. Power cable. Off. We can switch it on. Unfortunately, I don't have everything here set it up all the time. I'm switching in between devices. I should. To be true with the amount of work I have, I should start to think about redesigning this room. Okay, so now let's heat it up to the maximum. Maximum temp is far more, it's 400. What it is? 480 degrees, so it's 896 Fahrenheit, okay? So that's too much. I'll take it down to 350. Because really you don't want to burn those things. Okay, and let's switch it on. And it's not on, so the power is not coming in. Okay, let's follow the cable. Follow the leader. Okay, that's here. That's fine. And let's switch on it again. And yeah, now it's working. And let's switch on the scope. Okay, so we've got a scope. Now let's put it aside for now. Let's turn on the scope. Okay, good. Now the light. Okay. Let's get it under the scope, because my eyesight is great, you know, when I don't look. Trying to do that, you can see it. You can see it and it doesn't disturb me, and it's a bit of a problem because it was always aligned the other way around, but I'm trying to do it on the camera. So yeah, I think we need to go for some setup like that. That's more likely to work for us. So for this small we wouldn't even have to use a flux because that's so little, then that's okay. It doesn't want to get the sharpness. Don't know, maybe should I show it the middle finger or what? get it to the top. Okay. Come on. Okay, so you see the red one is here. Yes, the red one was here, and that's the black one. Okay, so we don't have to use the flux. Yes. Trying to not push too much because it's easy to put too much of the flux. Oh, my son is coming. Pause. Okay, so I was taking guys away, my children, and look what I've got here. You can feel jealous, and I won't be surprised. It's a beautiful, beautiful apple pie. Yes, made by my wife as she was going to bed. I had to look after it and take it out from the oven. So guys, I'll take just one. It's a heaven. It is a heaven. I need to put it away. It will be tempting me now, but it is what it is. And let's see what we can do here. I went away with the flux. As I said, you know, you don't need, for such small thing, you don't need it if you know what you're doing. But that's the proper way to do it, okay? So you then hold it, and you see it's changing the color, yes? When it will change the color, you don't need to then pull too much. And if you look, I've set it up on 350, yes, and it doesn't want to go away. It's heating because the board is absorbing the heat, yes, and it doesn't want to go away. I can feel the heat on this board from my fingers. So you see, so on this model, although you would be okay on some other one for 350, let's do 400 now, yes? It's heating up, and let's wait. Okay, it's now ready. So let's see now with 400. Not putting a lot of pressure, okay, but I still don't see it. You see, I still don't see it. That's why if you don't know what you're doing, it's better to go this way than the other way, and you keep on holding. Now always go for the flattest surface. Don't go from tip, go from the flattest. So let's try it on the side. Yes, because the side will keep more warm than one pin. Yes, and you see, still struggle, and I'm holding for such a long time. Normally it's a seconds of work, yes, you see, and it's not melted. So let's go for 450 on this, and it's heating up. This apple pie is yummy. I'm feeling so sorry for you guys because you've seen it. Okay, let's do it again. Where are you? Black cable here. So you see, such small. Okay, and again, I'm not pulling this black almost at all, only the firm connection, and it's nothing, you see. Don't want to let go. Oh, let go. You see, but that took long. So that's a minimum temp on small things. That can't be, you know, if you would go for larger ones, you struggle, yes. So that's a minimum, and that's on this one it's 450. So that's why I'm using almost all the time like not for the smallest ones, but I'm using up to full temp, yes, because this machine is not 500, believe me. Now you can check as well. You can try to tighten it up, yes, but it's tight, so you can't do anything, yes. That's what it is. So okay, let's do the other side. Let's do the other side. Got 2 wires, yes, and now let's get this temp to the full, yes, to full. And now let's get this flux a bit. Okay, doesn't have to be a lot. And let's try not to use hand to take it off, yes. You don't see the other part, I see, so maybe I'll move you to see. That's the problem. You're trying to show something, and then there is this issue with it. Okay, so now we've got a full keep in mind that we've got a full power, yes, we've got flux applied. So don't use your fingers, but let's take it away. You see, that's it. That's what it should be done in the first place with the first cable. I don't know what I've done, that I see some marks on it, but it's okay, it's not burned out, so that's fine. And now the same way should be with this black cable, yes. I shouldn't use any pulling or any force, and it just should go away. Okay, it didn't, because I was looking on the camera. I didn't look for on the scope. Okay, so it's not going. So now you can either now I will be cutting your view. So the connection this time is worse. Not always you have the same kind of connection. So what you can do is you can support yourself with a hand and see when it's melting. So it should melt. As long as my son won't come here and he won't need some. You see, and if it doesn't, and it was okay before, you start to burn this board. And why it's so? Because your tip can be dirty. So if your tip is dirty, you need to clean it. I've got old pepper, or yes, smoked paprika, yes, smoked paprika, and inside you've got scrub butt, yes, just stuff to, and you just cleaning it. You can buy proper equipment, that's not a problem, but now you've got a clean tip. If you've got a clean tip, it's easier to take it off, yes. And again, you can't go wrong with a flux, yes. If you've got flux, that's good. If you don't have flux, with this small will be fine, but with anything bigger than that, you know, you will struggle, yes, you will struggle. Trying to not cover your view. Okay, and it's off. So either it's taking you seconds and you're fine, or you're taking ages. That means either the heat is wrong, or you don't have good contact, or you didn't use flux. Those can be, you know, many triggers. So the best way is just to practice, yes. Buy even the cheap hot air station and just practice it, yes. Now you see clearly that you've got a plus written here, yes, plus and minus on the other side, so you will know where to plug in the red and the black. Okay, and as you see, I didn't try to pull hard, because if I would pull it hard, automatically that would mean that I can damage the thing. Now, how to desolder this without the hot air? Yes, so that would be the question. Is I would, if your eyes are good, you won't need a scope, okay, or magnifying glass or anything, but you will still need patience, okay. you will still need patience. Now I'm thinking how to do it that you will see it. I think this side will be, because on this side you can see this potentiometer. I know it's not best and it's not vivid and everything, because for some reason I didn't learn yet the use of this, but again I've got a problem because I've put my second tweezer somewhere and I've got not the ones which I want. So what other tweezers do we have here? Those, okay, these are banded, that's okay. These are fine. So now we shouldn't just try to remove it like that. Again, flux. Yes, flux. Where are you, flux? Okay. So those are the 3 pins where the potentiometer is. Yes, those are the 3 pins. We see the potentiometer, we don't see those 3 pins. So now varifocal lens. Yes. Again, you can do it without, but you will need far more heat. And when you need far more heat, you will have an opportunity to damage those pads. Yes. So what you should do is you should get a flat. We will try without, because to be sure I never tried without, if I will be able. So I'll show you which tip it would be best, but I don't see it here. So okay, I see it here, I'll show you. So the best tip would be this one. This is a flat, yes, flat one. I don't know the names for them, okay, so don't ask me names. I know what I'm using, how I'm using, I feel comfortable with them, and that's, you know, that's fine, yes. Whereas don't ask me, because I won't know. I see that I got too much light on the top. So okay, now if you won't heat them enough, yes, if you won't heat them all three enough, it won't go off. You will need a hot air. So either you're heating them free simultaneously, and when they are heated just press in and push in. Oh, and it will fall. You see? So you really don't need a lot of skill. Yes, you really don't need a lot of skill. All you need is just patience. Yes, that's the second component. And you know, just think before doing. Yes, think before doing, because putting a lot of pressure means easy to damage something. Now this will be more tricky because I can't show you this one. It's just on the opposite side, and plus it's the way that it's just no fun for you here. And I need to use my, okay, so I don't think I can show you this one. I think I'll do it off camera probably, or I will do it but you won't see everything, because now you can see 3 pins with my scope, but I can't. And my children are coming again. So see, we've got a bit of a flux. We don't need a lot. Yes, they're coming, so let's pause it again. Sorry guys, I'm back, but unfortunately, you know, kids are kids and we can't do anything about them. So okay, so the second potentiometer which we have is off as well. If you can see it, yes, it's, I'll put my stuff away. So that's loose. Yes, that's pretty much, I mean, loose in the way that it's off the of the joystick. Yes, so it's off the joystick. So yeah, if it's off the joystick, we can do the same technique. That's why we've done the flags on it. Yes, so let's look for it here. Let's try if we can push it as well. So first try to put enough heat, and then get this heat for you can't see it here on the back screen. Should I worry or should I not worry about juice? Let's try like that, if you will see, because I need to hold my finger to have it more stable. So anyways, here are cables, so that's a risk of burning them out. So now again, if I want heat 3 of them, but 1 or 2, then that will be no-go. So I need to do it from the side which I can make least damage. Yes, so I'm heating 2 and moving to the third one. Yes, now I'm going back to this and I can start to put the pressure on. Then again, I need to lift up the board a bit. Yes, and make sure that I'm heating all 3 of them. If I'm not heating 3 of them, they don't hold temp and it won't happen and I can damage something. So I'm not looking the way I'm supposed to look, but it's pretty much 3 of them. So that's how you do it with no hot air. Yes, that's why it's better to have hot air. Okay, so something is going, and then we turn it, and it went out, but it didn't drop as at the previous. Yes, time. So it didn't drop. So see, it's still stable. If it's still stable, that means what we can do is we can try to heat on one side. Yes, heat on one side and hold on the other side, this green here. But we need to be careful to not end burn ourselves. And what do we have here? Really trying to do all, and I'm struggling. Really struggling to show you and do it at the same time to be true. Okay, that's the metal component. Okay, so those are the 3 pins, but again they are blurry, so I'm not happy that they're. You see, now you don't see those pins coming out of those 3 here, but it wasn't it wasn't good enough, so we need to heat them up, but heat 3 of them, not 2, so for a bit longer time, and then when they are heated, then we can try to take it away. If you see that you've got no flux, believe me, now it's time to add the flux. Okay, and I struggle. So for me, yes, for me it's looking like that's not a pin, that's just a blob. So for me it needs more flux. And that's why when you start to work with soldering, you will know that it's better to use hot air. Yes, because if you use hot air and you get some practice with it, you'll least likely to make damages. So okay, so now let's look for them again. I don't want to do it off camera, I was trying to do it here. Okay, we've got a flux, we see the flux. And let us, okay, it's pulling, good, and I get it. Okay, cool. So see, we've got another one. So now you've got 6 pins less. Yes, so if you've got 6 pins less, it's easier for you to get the rest. But again, how to do the rest? There is a way. Again, you'll struggle, but there is a way. So what it is, let me show you underneath the cam. Okay, so that's as high I can go, so I can't show you in any other way. Now here, yes, here are two irrelevant pins. That's okay. So here we've got one pin. That's one pin which we need to worry about. Here 3 desoldered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 pins now left, yes, and we've got 6 off, so we've got 14 pins. Let me check the original, the joystick. Okay, let's get one joystick away. On the board. Let's look. Okay, so here are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, good, I was right. And then 3 and 3 for the potentiometer. Yeah, so that's what we've got. So now, what we can do is I got flux all over my place. But anyways, so let's apply a bit of a flux. Here, as always, flux is your friend. Yes, so respect your friend. We won't be putting everything on the camera though, because it's really annoying on the scope and on the camera. So yeah, we'll just try to do. Now you could use the suction pump. Yes, that's one of the ways, but if you don't heat it well enough, you will damage pads. Yes, so you can use the wick, which is okay, but always use a fresh wick. Don't use like that. Yes. So if it was used and you see the discoloration, cut it. Just don't use this kind of wick, because if you will use it, then something might go against you. Again, we've used the flux. Yes, we've used the flux, but it's okay even to put small amount of flux on the tip. That's still okay. Why? Because the more flux you have, the least likely you'll damage something. Yes, and it's more likely that you will get this stuff quicker. Yes, so let's try to see with one pin. Again, it's not the best way to do it, but I want you to see that even without a hot air you can do it. Yes. Okay. If your temp is of course okay, and if you know what you're doing. I don't know if you can see it clearly, at least on one cam, because I'm looking into this. Okay, so most of it went away. If you struggle, you can add a bit of solder. Yes. Now, why you would add solder? Because this one is not a leaded solder. Yes. So this has a larger temp to melt. So now what you're gonna do is you end up with heating it like more than you would originally with a leaded solder. Yes. And those fumes are not healthy anyway. Whatever somebody will tell you, these are not healthy fumes. So yeah, good ventilation would be appreciated for your own health. So see, you will struggle if you don't have I'm holding it and it doesn't. You see, it's soldered now. Yes. Okay, let's see what it does. Yeah, you see, it's rubbish, you can say. So that's why it's better to use the hot air, because it's quicker, it's easier, you can clean the, where it is here. I can clean the tip. We can use more flux, but it's still not helping. So yeah. So if this won't go, you'll see that it's better to use just use the hot air. Yes. So I haven't done it without hot air for so long that I don't remember. Okay. Let's try because, you know, come on, I'm not soldering from yesterday. Or you could see the shape of this hot air, you would know that it's old. I couldn't find the auction even on eBay because I bought it on eBay because it's too many years back. Okay. I shouldn't burn other components as well because that won't be healthy. Burnt plastic is not something what you wanna experience with. Okay, so you see, as a hobby you can do it, but if you would have to do 10 of those per day, it's better to use hotter. So I won't be continuing probably this this way because it's just, you know, this metal which is need to be heated as well on the other side, and that's why it's taking so much heat. So even though I can use the max temp, it will be struggling. That's why let's switch it off. Yes. Let's take off the top of the hot air because this one is just for small point. If I'll use this, I won't be able to heat enough space and I will end up with overheating at one place. Yes. So let us take a screwdriver. I've got many screwdrivers, but not all of them are here. Okay, I see them. pH2 should do. Okay, we can take off this head. Screw it out. Okay. And no more. Okay. Now I don't have bigger tip because when I was working, when I had a warehouse, over there I left stuff, and one of those stuff was a bag of those tips, and I never bought those tips. So I've got only this size, and I never been bothered to, you know, I'm using either this or either this, and it's not always convenient. Believe me, sometimes I'm just, you know, like, oh, really? But that's what I'm doing. So yeah, so it is what it is. But anyways, you know, like, you can only work with the things you've got, and if you don't like it, change it. I didn't bother to change it, that's why, you know, that's why I've got what I got. I need to listen because if my kids are coming, I don't want to switch on the hot air. I switch off the soldering station, so that's good. That won't burn anyone or anything. Okay, they were stamping downstairs. They weren't stamping here. So okay, so let's apply a bit of flux here again, because I don't know how much left, and I don't want to be culprit for damaging this. Can never go wrong with too much flux. Okay, now again, air to the minimum, absolute minimum in this case, because I know it. And let's try again. I won't do half because I know what will happen, okay, but I'll do about 60% of heat, about 60%, and let's, oh, not this one, and this, and the pump it have started. Yes, so it is. You can see that it will be red. Well, it's, you know, like for me it's red, for you will be orange, pinkish, or whatever color. Yes, so it is. Now I won't show it under the scope because it's not convenient, and I was testing it in the past. I would have to have higher surface, but I will try still. If I'll burn something, that will be on me. Now I see that I will struggle. I would have to have some holder which can then drop out, but I can try to show you anyway. You see, I've never done it on camera. Yes, so that's the problem. Let's heat it up. Let's heat it up. If I okay, it's melting the with that heat, it's melting the flux. So we know that we're doing a good work. Need to heat up the surface first. After heating the surface, oh, now it's getting hotter. I can feel my fingers, so I can put it a bit away. But it has to melt, so you can imagine that it's a bit of a heat. Okay. Now, normally, if this will be melted, I can use something to like push it a bit, and that temp, if it's enough, it will start to allow me to go through the solder. Yes, but I see now that the temp is either too small, because it doesn't allow me to go through this, or the temp is too slow. It's too small, because it should go off. Okay, I need to go off the scope. No, I can stay at the scope because of the light, but I can't stay on the scope to show you the work. So you see, I'm not pointing out to one place. Yes, I'm not. I'm just moving around. Now this should be enough time. You know, this should be enough time for it to starting to drop. But this solder is nowhere close melting point. Yes, because when I'm touching the solder, it's nowhere close. That's mean I'm using not enough heat for it. Okay, so guys, if you know your station, you will know what the heat you need. Yes, I know my station is, you can say, not the bestest. Yes, and it needs quite a lot of heat. Now this here, I put it this way because that way it can hold on its own, but I want to use a bit more flux because I don't feel comfortable with what's happening here, because I've used quite a lot of heat on it and it didn't do anything, so I don't wanna risk it for a biscuit. Okay, so now let's take this. and a small pressure from outside. Yes, it's actually too much pressure. See, it's still not melting. Still nothing. Still not melting. So you can add either low melt solder, yes, or if you're okay, you can increase the temp. If you increase the temp, what will happen? Or you can add soldering paste as well. Okay. Whoa, look, the solder has burned for some reason. Now flux a bit. Okay. Oh, my sun is going out. You see, that's what I mean. I've never done it like that. Now it's smoking. Now it's a good sign because it's smoking. So that's a good sign because now it's starting something. The small pads which we removed, they are melted. So that's a good sign. Okay, so we're nearly there. Hopefully nobody will disturb now. Yes. Okay, that went out and that fell out. So now we can remove it. Yes, that's okay. Now there is no damage to the surface. Okay, I'll show you. And let's kick it away. Where are we? Okay, so here you see there these pads. Sorry for the loud noise, but it will be for some time. Or maybe, you know what, let's pause it because I don't know how loud it will be, and I'll give it back to you when it will stop making a noise. Okay, I have to open the window because it was too hot, and I used the time to eat the cake. So anyways, you see that now those pins are still with solder, yes, but they are not affected in any way. These four as well, yes. This capacitor haven't been blown away, yes. No components are missing, so it is a bit messy, yes, that's true, but nothing was. Those traces here are small, but they are not fractured or anything. Yes, here those were soldered before, desoldered before, because we had it removed in the first place. Yes, so that's fine as well. And those this one and this across this one, yes, these are fine. And this at the top here as well. Yes, that we've seen it. Yes, so you see, so there is no damage done, yes, to the surface. Now keep in mind that those are not the low temp melting solders. Yes, these are the original one made by Microsoft. So what it is, it needs, I think, if I'm not lying to you, you'd have to Google it, but I think it's 217 or something degrees to start melting. And please comment it if you think otherwise, because I don't remember from top of my head. I might be wrong. But anyways, you know, so we didn't do any damage. We did manage to take it off. As you've seen, we did try to do it as much as we could with just a soldering iron. Yes, which we know now that it's not the best way. You will struggle with it, so it's better to use hot air. And with hot air, we started from the lower point because, you know, if you don't know, I was trying to be a person who don't know how to do it. So I did try to do with a lower temp, yes, minimum airflow, because I didn't want to blow off the components, or I didn't want to, you know, like overheat it. Yes, so we did start with 60% about of the airflow. Sorry, with minimum airflow, because for gamepads it's not really needed like 50% or 100%. You can blow off those components really quickly, or burn out burn out pads or something else. So it's better to use low flow of the air, and then we've used about 60% of the heat power, yes, and now we've managed to just heat it up, but we didn't manage to melt it. Even those extra which we removed in the past, those the potentiometer ones, yes, those three, they didn't even start to melt, whereas they didn't have the whole heat taken by the metal part, so they should melt quicker, which we've seen later, yes. So next what happened is I've increased it's my number 6, yes, my number 6, and it's total of 8, so let's say about 70 odd percent, yes, of the power. I've increased it to that level, and we've seen that these three from the potentiometer, which had to take less heat than those one which had the metal, yes, this and this on the right side, they start to burn, not burn, sorry, melt, yes. When they've melted, yes, we knew that we were on a good way, yes. So that's why I was continuing. I didn't increase the temp again, I didn't do anything, like no panicking, because then it's easy to really damage them, and those traces are really tiny. As you see, this trace which goes out from here, it's really tiny. If you will damage it, how you will recover it? You know what I mean? It's like too high risk, and then you don't make huge profit that you will cover this from your own pocket. No, once damage is done, you've lost the money because you need to buy customer a working controller, yes, or partially recover by paying them off for the faulty one, yes. So it's your fault. So that's why I'm putting so much pressure on doing those jobs the right way, yes, because it's up to you to do it the right way. So be afraid to damage something which you can afford to lose, like electronics, yes. Like I've put the advert, the post on my Facebook not a long time ago, that I've got a preheater behind me, yes, and I don't want to use this preheater just on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 here, 9 on 9 consoles, yes, Xbox One 1540 model. I don't want to use it. I know they are not booting up, then there is some issue and so on, so I might be using on all of them or on some of them, but I don't want to be a culprit for my things to get faulty because I couldn't learn before, like with this approach, yes, what I showed you. Oh, I need to go to my kids because there is a cry. Sorry, we boo-boo, and that has to help. But anyways, so what it is that now you know the procedure, yes. So no matter which tool you will have, just be careful of not damaging something, because if you will do it, you will feel sorry for yourself, and you will lose money and so on, yes. So that's what it is. Now in regard to remove this, to be true, I like to hold it higher, yes, so any way I can hold it higher I will use it. But here today I will try to do it under the microscope, so that's the problem, because I can heat the board and then heat the surface underneath, so that's a bit uncomfortable. So I'm thinking what I can do to do it on the microscope and do it properly. What can we do? I think what I can do is use my holder. Don't know if that will do, but that's a holder which I was using with my previous microscope. So yeah. Okay. Let's screw this one. try to grab this board, because we really need to take it to the low level. Oh, and it has to be in the air, yes? It has to be in the air. Why? Because we don't want to hit anything else what we don't need to hit. Heat. Yes, I said that right. Why I'm talking like I would can't speak in English, guys? Why? I know I'm Polish, but at the end of the day, I can speak English. I can speak quite good English, actually. Okay, that should do. That should do. That's not ideal. That's not ideal, but that's doable, I'd say. It's not really stable. It's still a bit loose. Yes. So let us have it grab. Oh, now it's better. Now it's far better. Let's go. Okay, let's do bit by bit. Yes, let's do bit by bit. So, don't know if you like my tool, but that tool is a tool to do. Now, what we will always start off is a bit of a flux, or more flux, or too much flux, but we will always start from the flux. Now, what we can do is I was putting there a solder, yes? So I should be able to use my my max temp on the soldering iron, and I hear someone coming. Okay, that was actually fine. So it is still on red, so it's not yet ready. So we can use this time to maybe wiggle, yes, and use as well a bit of flux on this. It will not be needed, but oh yeah, you'll like it. You'll like it. So what it is now is we need to heat it and take off the excess of the solder until we will see the hole. If we don't see the hole, that means we're not successful. So I don't feel that I'm doing a good job here. And not absorbing. Okay, so the melted solder with the previous one should go now into this wig. That's what's normally happen. Like you see it at the very right, whereas it doesn't. It's less heat than it's needed. But I don't have more heat, so I don't want to use the hot air for that, and I'll probably have to use it this time. So I won't be able to use the wig. Yes, it's no heat, no transfer of heat good enough. So if it's not good enough transfer of heat, we can damage something. Yes, you remember that. So yeah, you see, that's not the way to go. So I can switch it off for now. I need to get this flat one. I got it here. That's a new one because I've thrown out the old one. Okay. I had to. The old one was really in bad shape. So okay, yeah, I've got it for too many years. I was using it too many times. So now it will be too hot, yes. So it's not a station which you can swap on the spot. So that's why you have to be careful with what and how you're doing. And I've ordered them not long time ago on AliExpress because I had only one each before, and I decided to get a new ones because I wanted to start those videos to be true. And I started them. Okay, now we can put this one aside. And look, this one is it's more flat, yes, it's more flat, so that is what it is. Now I've got a problem because that's a new one, never used, so I should treat it a bit. Okay, we can start off the, let's switch it on, let's max temp it, maximum temperature. Let's use it on this because I've never used it, so I don't like to go straight to soldering. Okay, starting to melt, good. That was the old stuff. We call it in Poland California, I don't know how you call it here, but that's sort of a flux, only old stuff. And I loved always the smell of this, always. That's made, I think this one is still made out of the tree. I love the smell. Probably it's poisonous, yes, but I just love it. Okay, I've treated a bit with this. Now let's absorb a bit of solder. Doesn't wanna. Oh, I think I'll finish it off with the hot air. It's just too much hassle. I was trying to do as much as I can with soldering iron, you know. But from what I see is like, I remember now why I switched to the hot air. I remember, because I was starting to struggle. And I can do still many things with soldering iron, but it's just that you can't do everything, and it's more convenient sometimes to just, okay, now it's holding better, and now it's starting to get the heat, absorb the heat well. Okay, so let's add a bit of that to this, and let's start to take it away. See why I've swapped for a bigger one? To increase the surface. With a bigger surface, it's easier for me to take it away. Look, clean. How long it took? Not a lot of time, because now you've got proper tool, yes, and that's how it should be. So if you use too small tip, you see you can heat it, and never-ending story, yes. When you've got proper tool, proper temp, proper settings. Did we put flux here again? Because if no, I will be struggling again, and I don't want to struggle. but it's okay, it's good enough for me, that's fine. So let's keep on going, because we've done a good job, guys. We've got 2 points of these. Let's add a bit more flux. Let's do like a pro, yes. Okay, let's cut off this wig, because this wig is just Peter, shame you on. Okay, so let's now go for these 2 gents and heat it up and get this wig, take it away, and look, seconds. Wiggle, 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 and look, seconds, and done. You see? So that's what I said. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy if you know how to do it, yes? Even with the soldering iron. I know it's easier with hot air. I know it. I've got a customer calling, guys, sorry, excuse me. Okay guys, sorry, but you know, like, if person is calling and you know that that person should come and collect some stuff, you know, automatically it's, you know, it's a must to pick that call up, yes, because it is what it is, you know, like. So okay, anyways, we've applied some flux, yes. We can now take it here. What do we have here? Okay, yes, we can get this stuff. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Yes, do we have a hole? We've got a beautiful hole. Guys, that's the most beautiful hole in the world. Do we have a hole? No, that's not a beautiful hole. Come on guys, we can do better. That's a beautiful hole. Yes? So okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 holes done. Let's keep on going because we're doing a really good job here. Oh, Peter, shame you on, cameraman. Maybe I'm good with soldering sometimes, but you know what? I'm not good with cameras. I'm pathetic with those cameras. So okay, let's cut these babes again. Wig, come on, wig. You. Oh, I will have to find it at some point. Where is my flux on at hand? That's good. And I can't look at the screen and do it. I have to look at the board and do it. Okay. Anyways, let's keep on rolling, keep on going. So now you see, now we've got a success. So we need to keep on going with that success. See, the wig will take excess as long, yes, as long as you apply it properly. So hopefully you've got a good lesson here, guys, because if no, I'm wasting my time. I could do it far better, far quicker, yes, without any hassle, and forget about it and get to another job. Literally, there is so many jobs. If you follow me, you know that I've got so many jobs and I don't make profits on it, so I'm doing it only as a hobby. So respect, guys. Hopefully at least you can like the video. Maybe it's not the best of the best of the best videos, but you know, I've spent so much time, commitment to you, and so on. What I did, okay, good. And last two, I think. I'm really trying my best so that people can learn from it. Whoa! That's window open and I can still smell it. That's nice. That's nice. And these are awesome. Guys, we've done it. We've nailed it. Okay, so it is a bit messy, yes. We could use isopropyl and alcohol and clean it up, but to be true, you know, to be true, what's the point? Yes, somebody will be eating from it? No. Does it have enough flux to hold the new one? Yes. So what would be the point of cleaning it, you know, like every so often? There are channels which clean stuff, but you know why they clean mainly? Because many times these guys wouldn't give a hoot about cleaning. It's only looking nicer at customers' eyes. Yes? Oh, customers seeing, wow, yeah, they looking well, you know. Well, yes and no, to be true. One, it's time consuming. Second, is less of recycling because you use a lot of chemicals and other stuff. And oh, here is a point, because the I'll show you. You see the wet? That's our flux. Yes, went on the other side. So there is a point in that. Yes, taking it away, there is a point in that. But it's no big deal, even if I won't take it. Oh, that's dry, by the way. So let's spray it with isopropyl. Where are you? Here you are. Okay. So let's like oh, and let's clean it off before new application. Yes, because the flux can make problems. It's no clean, so it should be okay, but it melted down there, so we don't want it there. I want to take it away, I'll look at the end. Yes, I'll look at the end. So we will get another, but that's not a problem. That's least of our worries now. It's good enough for me. So let's try to fit this one in. Okay, let's try to fit it in. Okay, which is the side? Okay, that's this one, that's this one. So that's looking like this should go this way. Now usually I've got a wee problem with them. They are not fitting, you know, straight away. They are like a bit disaligned. So I won't be showing in details, but just be careful when you insert them, because you might be finding problem with that later. Yes, and I got 0 to none line. Okay, so yeah. See, those pins should be aligned. And they are not. They are pretty much not aligned. Okay, so we need to be careful, and just to help them out, just to help them a bit. Okay, good, that went in. There was just 2 pins, to be true, which went off track. Yes, but it's, you know, you can't avoid it. It's just how you would do it to be 100% okay. You buy them off AliExpress from China, yes, and then okay, more, and then what you got is sending them 2 connected together and wrapped up. Yes, so if they are 2 connected together and wrapped up, you can imagine that there will be issues. But it's, you know, it's not that it's a huge issue, it's just a small issue which you can live with. Yes, okay. Now what I like to do is I'm trying to apply a bit of a flux on one, and that one just to catch. And I'll tell you why. On one side here, yes, and I'll put flux as well on the second side. I won't show it on camera, but I will apply it. Okay, you could see on the bigger one. Now what I like to do is just, it's quite dirty, try to see if we can catch it. If no, we can just try and apply solder like that. Okay, good. And just to catch it, just as long as we can catch it. That's fine, as long as it's catched up. Good, and second place. Good. Where I want it to, even here, that's fine. See, sometimes it's better to work on them with no microscope. Because the microscope doesn't help always. So okay, now when we get it catched up, we can hold it. Oh, and the second has disconnected. Oh well. You see, that's what it is. You're trying to show it and then you destroy it more, and then you've got extra job just because you're trying to help. So it's, if you want to do it for profit and for recording, then just keep in mind it's not always going with you, it's going against you as well. So okay, so let's put flags underneath, and let's start from the top. Okay, can we push it more? No, we can't. It's firmly mounted. That's okay. So in that case we can catch it with this, so it will be stiff as it was before. Yes, good, that's stiff enough. And now we can find the best spot. Okay, now we can try to grab the focus. Okay, now we can add the flags. Now my son went out of the room, so he's coming. I need to pause it. Okay guys, so I've got a small problem. I need to just try to do it on the open door, and my son is on the side. So now how I'm doing it is just, I didn't clean this for a bit of a time, but it should be still okay. So I'll be trying to just touch it and apply a bit of a solder. Okay, so that's a bad joint. Okay, that's, if you will do it, that's a bad joint. Now what's happening, you need to hold it firmly, it has to melt. Okay,
Baby.
What's up?
It's you, Daddy.
Yes, it's me. So see, it doesn't hold, the temp is just too small. I need to deal with my son first.
It's your...
Okay, so why was the issue? I will tell you. When you leave this on for a certain amount of time, it will not be as effective as it was when you left it on. So the best way is to just rub it, yes, get it nice and clean again, then apply some sort of flux again, and then do it, because that's how it's working. And that should melt, and it's not melting. so the board had a bit higher temp, and what happened was that this board was cooling off, and for this time when I was off, it just cooled off completely, and now we need to start it from scratch. So you can help yourself with hot air. Yes, in this case you can help yourself with hot
Daddy,
air.
I got my panties in the shower.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Okay. I will need to see this video if he's not running naked. Sorry, guys. Okay, guys. So I think I will have to finish this recording. It's 1.5 hours anyway, so it's long, really long. But I did try to go through everything in detail. As you've seen, we successfully were able to remove the component by not understanding how the equipment is working and applying a bit more heat and so on. Yes, so you've seen that one. We've been able to remove component without damaging anything. Yes. Now you understand that flux matters because it's helping you with the temp, so it's melting quicker. And if the board will cool off and it doesn't work like that, and you're cleaning your tip here, yes, if you're cleaning your tip and it doesn't help again, then you can preheat your board again with a hot air, and that will help. So I will stop this recording right now because it's 1.5 hours, and I'll finish it off. I'll test it. I'll test that button as well, the sync button. If it will be fine, I will leave it. If no, I will replace this board and give to the customer another board, and to not waste any more time, and I'll assemble it. Yes, so that's it. If I'll let's say do any failures, I'll tell you in the next video. So if you're following videos by date, you will know exactly what have happened with this gamepad. And if I've got a serial number here, okay, it's better to show it. I don't know if you can read it. I don't know if you can read. The end is 13113-629. Okay, hello from Seattle. So that it is, and that's a model 1708. Yes. And at the top over the barcode is X949799-001. So I'll tell you exactly what went with this controller, but you see, you know the technique now. So if you've never done it, you know how to do it. I will use hot air to be sure. I don't wanna, I don't wanna go and try to glue it this way. And then I'll use the soldering iron on top of that heat. Yes, so that will be easier for me to apply that heat. Thank you guys for watching with me. This job will be easier for me to finish it off the cam as well, to be true. Hope you get some value from it. If so, please hit the like button, and that's it. See you in the next one. Bye bye.